Mr. Speaker, sir, I feel a privilege to be able to move and initiate the discussion on the motion of thanks to His Excellency, the Honorable Governor of Meghalaya, for his address to this August House, the 20th March 2023. Sir, while going through the Governor's address, I'm very much elated because it can be seen that the new government of the state is continuing to take into account the various interests of the states as a whole. Lots have been said about the aims and programs of the government, but I will only point out a few of the programs and steps that the government contemplating to fulfill during the financial year and these few coming years. On the law and order situation in the state, the government has shown its seriousness, and this can be seen that when the government grabbed the opportunity of the offer made by the HNLC for unconditional talks to come to the negotiating table for peace talks. Without wasting time, the state government initiated the process of the peace talk offer with the government of India, which has also shown its support in this regard. I hope that this will soon see the light of the day when the total peace is back in a faithful state. So I would like to thank the government for its keenness in getting the boundary problems resolved once and for all. In spite of many resistance, I believe that one day the problem will be solved, and I've no doubt that the people living in the border areas will be able to live peacefully thereafter. So, as the government's initiatives to bring the administration closer to the people, this is manifested when new districts, new CNRD blocks, subdivisions, etc. have been created throughout the state. I have no doubt that people will feel more close to the administration. Para 15 clearly shows that the government does not neglect the rich cultural heritage of a state. With this in mind, integrated textile tourism complex is set up at my district headquarters, Nongpo, which is nearing completion. I believe that will go a long way in preserving the old age practice of human coexistence with nature. So, with the implementation of Meghalaya Mega Health Insurance schemes successfully, this will reduce the pocket of expenses for medical treatment. The scheme now provides insurance coverage of up to 5,30,000 per family. This will really help the patients, especially those who came from a poor background family. Coming to Part 30, priority is given for upgradation of about 1,885 schools throughout the state. Apart from this, the salary of ad hoc teachers has been enhanced up to 50%, thereby benefiting about 10,000 teachers. Though this involves huge financial implications, the government doesn't shy away from its responsibility and is very serious about improving education in the state. I am personally thankful to the government for having completed the construction of Model Degree College at Pathakma. While coming to the Public Works Department, it is seen that the government is taking up various roads projects under various programs. So, I would like to request the government to consider taking up more routes in the state as well as my constituency, which is a constituency bordering Assam, so that the people will have a sense of belonging to our state. Mr. Speaker, sir, having been said about the various programs of the government, so with only these few submissions that I've made, I would like to resume my seat. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I would like to inform the House that amendment to the motion of thanks to the Governor's address has been submitted by Dr. Celestine Lyngdoh, MLA, and seconded by Sri Roni V. Lyngdoh, MLA. Any one of the honorable members may move the amendment to the motion of thanks.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move, but regret that the Governor's address fails to mention the following. Number one, failure of the government to indicate commitment to address the issues of influx and illegal immigration. Number two, safety and security of citizens in border areas. Number three, educational infrastructure for higher education. Number four, upgradation of health centers in rural areas. Number five, many failures of the MECL. Number six, delay in completion of medical colleges. Number seven, transparency in governance. Number eight, failure of JJM, Jan Jival Mission. Number nine, poor treatment of Ashas and Anganwadi workers.
Before I allow the honourable member to initiate his motion of, I will now request the honourable members who would like to participate in the debate on Governor's address to kindly give their names so that I can regulate the time. So, mover to the amendment of the motion of thanks to the Governor's address may kindly initiate.
Mr. Speaker, sir, at the outset, I would like to place my personal request through you to avoid incidences like yesterday. Since BJP, which is in the union government, we request, that is my personal request through you, sir, henceforth, maybe when they appoint a governor, we should be able to have a governor who have at least a working knowledge of English when they are posted in Meghalaya. Now when we come to the amendments to the motion of thanks to the Governor's address, I would like to bring forward certain points to discuss and share our opinions and suggestions to the government. In page number 2 of the Governor's address at serial number 3, they have mentioned about the resolution of the long pending border disputes between Assam and Meghalaya. The suggestions which I want to make here is that, sir, we have 6 more remaining areas. But what we have learned from the 6 areas that have been discussed, I would like to give an example. In Pilingkata Maikhuli, when we discuss an issue of handing over and taking over of the areas of difference, when Meghalaya gives to Assam, it should be an area of difference. And when it receives from Assam also, it should be an area of difference. Here I would like to point out, in Maikuli, the area of difference or the point of contention in that village was the graveyard. But when the border was corrected, the area which is not under contention, there is a large fish pond which the village used to benefit out of it. They have handed over that part to Assam. That fish pond is not under an area of difference. So I would like to point out here, with the remaining 6 areas that maybe the government will take up in a later time, if they have to exchange, they have to exchange only the areas that are under difference. We should never give the land that is not disputed from Meghalaya to Assam. That is my submission, sir. And in serial number 4, when we talk about Meghalaya police, I salute them because of their efficiency and effectiveness in tackling the menace of drug peddlers. It has been mentioned here that their efficiency has risen up to 39% in solving cases. But here, when we talk about the efficiency of the police, I would like to club point number 4 of page number 2 along with serial number 97 of page 22. We all agree that to fight the drug peddlers, we have to find ways and means to detect their roads of travel, the means and mechanisms in which they carry the substances. When we talk of drugs, we talk in volumes of 5 grams, 10 grams, or 20 grams. I club it along with the serial number 97. The issue here is about mining. If our police have been so efficient in detecting the small quantities of drugs, I fail to understand why they fail to detect a 16-wheeler trucks or 14-wheeler trucks with 30 tons of coal traveling through our highways in broad daylight. Why they cannot detect those trucks? The issue of corruption, the allegations that we have just had a short discussion, in a short duration discussion, the point raised was about the corruption. Now, when we talk about the efficiency, can we ask, do the police choose to be selective in which areas they want to be efficient or in which areas they don't want to be efficient? That is my question, sir. If they are efficient in every area that they are posted, I fail to understand why such big trucks could not be detected. In mining and geology, the absence of the state scientific mining policy has led to big losses to the state's exchequer that runs into thousands of crores. In fact, on this very point, sir, I have raised a question for the question hour, but it was denied, citing the reasons that the matter is sub judice. Parts of the question could have been allowed, and one of the questions that I asked was, in the last 1 year, what is the revenue that the government has received out of coal alone? So I put this question again while discussing this government's address, while we face this debate, I still would like to get the reply from the Chief Minister who looks after mining and geology. What is the revenue collected in the last 1 year through coal alone? And when I raise this issue, it does not mean that I am against the coal merchants. In fact, I salute them, sir. Through you, sir, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, at a time when the state is facing a lot of unemployment issues, at a time when our youths are facing problems with employment, we are happy that certain groups of people manage to do activities of coal mining, providing some sort of employment to our people in the rural areas. But then the question has to be answered, can we carry on with this activity at the cost of the state exchequer? Can we allow a group of people to do the illegal business of coal at the cost of the state? These are pertinent questions which this House will have to answer. The constituency which I represent, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, lies on the highway. If the government says that there is no illegal mining, it will be very difficult for me as the representative of my constituency. It will be very difficult for the people of my constituency to say that there is no transportation of coal. We see it every day on the road. The only question is, how much out of those hundreds of trucks that ply through the highways, how much is legal and how much is illegal? This is the question that everyone in the state would like to know. So my salutation again to the coal merchants for providing employment to our people, especially after the NGT ban. But I believe the state government will be able to come up with the scientific mining policy for the benefit of the state, for the benefit of the exchequer of the state, to expedite the process of bringing the mining policy which is in sync with the NGT requirements. Under agriculture and farmer welfare, at serial number 9, page number 3, when we talk about lakadong turmeric, ginger, spices, aromatic plants, mushrooms, in fact, before I contested the election again, many people from South India has come to approach me to help them to get lakadong turmeric and to help them to bring from lakadong to somewhere in a district like Ribhoi where we get a lot of sunshine to dry the sliced turmeric, because they say that in lakadong the sunshine is not as regular as in other districts. So I fail to understand why till now we are not able to set up at least some sort of cottage industries for slicing, processing and drying of the produce that our farmers produce. One is the lakadong turmeric. We can transport it from lakadong area to Ribhoi district, anywhere. We have plenty of sunshine, dry them and sell the dried products at a higher price. And the broomsticks, the production runs into tons per year. But we don't have any industries for value addition of our products. Now in page number 5, community and rural development. Sir, through your office, I would like to request the government to raise up this issue. Now, in many of the villages in the rural areas, one by one, they are starting to give up to take up development work under MGNREGA. When I ask them what is the reason, most of the time the reply that they give is, we get the wages, but we don't get the money for the materials. In fact, in many of the CNRD blocks, the dues for materials runs into crores. In fact, many of the vendors who supply materials to the village councils, village employment councils, when the dues goes to 1 lakh, 2 lakh, they could manage. But when the dues run into 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, even those vendors surrenders to supply the required materials to the villages. Now, how will they work without the materials? And another issue is the GPS tagging and photography that has to be done before the work is undertaken. There are many instances where villages have assembled, they're ready to work, but when it is time to take photography, when there is no internet, they cannot take that photograph which requires a GPS tagging. So even though if they're ready to work, they have to again disperse, and that one day will be useless for them. So there should be ways and means to help our villagers so that they don't lose their days. I'm afraid a day will come when MGNREGA will be avoided by the villagers. So the first persons who will suffer will be MLAs and MDCs. Why I say this? Because of the MGNREGA, we are relieved of the headaches of providing footpaths, motorable roads, cemented motorable roads. All these are taken care of by the MGNREGA. But if a day comes that this program will fail, then maybe the MLAs and MDCs with their meager schemes will face a lot of hardships, especially in the rural areas. In page number 7, under health and family welfare, unluckily today in the question hour, due to the time constraints, I was very happy to see question number 7 about ASHAs. ASHAs are like nobody's child. They are given a lot of work, but nobody claims to be their child. In the reply, I have seen here the fixed incentive that the ASHAs get per month is 2,000 from the state government. And in the reply, in the table, serial number 2, there is a performance-based incentive from the National Health Mission. So I asked a few ASHAs, what are those performance-based incentives? They have listed 8 of them. Number 1, the Village Health and Nutrition Day. If they attend that meeting, they get an incentive of 200 rupees per month. But this is again at the mercy of the ANM. If the ANM, due to some unavoidable circumstances, on a fixed day, that they are supposed to have this nutrition day meeting in a village, if she does not attend, even though the Anganwadi Asha reach the spot, she will not get this incentive. Incentive number 2, Village Health, Sanitation and Nutrition Committee. If they attend this committee, they will get 150 rupees per month. But this is again not at their control. The chairman of the Village Health, Sanitation, Nutrition Committee is the head man. If on the appointed day, the headman falls sick, the meeting will be cancelled, again they will lose that incentive. Then the ushers will have to attend a monthly meeting in the PHCs or CHCs that they are attached in. And for attending that, they get 150 rupees per month. Now, for an Asha who lives a few kilometers away from the health center, to attend that meeting, she will have to spend around 100 rupees as an auto fare. After attending the meeting, if tea is not provided, she will have to take some tea. So the incentive that they get from the NHM is spent on that day itself. So what is the benefit of the Ashas? There's nothing. Point number 4, line listing, they get 300 rupees per month. Then they have, point number 5, they have to maintain a village health register. They get 300 rupees per month. Then they have to prepare a due list for ANC checkup. 300 rupees per month. A due list for immunization, 300 rupees per month. Number 8, due list for eligible couple, 300 rupees per month. Here I would like to bring one big misconception or a confusion that is brought along with our schemes. On one side, the government of India, the government of Meghalaya is advising people to adopt family planning services.
Honorable members, since there are many other members who would like to participate, I would request you to shorten your speech.
I will speed up, sir. I will speed up. But then certain points need to be explained in such a way that we understand and
please shorten it.
Answer can be given. So under the health and family welfare, we advise the people to accept family planning services. But we expect our Ashas to prepare a list for antenatal checkup. When people are not pregnant, how will they come for antenatal checkup? And their incentive is based on that. So will the Asha tell not to get pregnant or to get pregnant to get the incentive? So these are basic issues which we confuse our health workers. Then we come to page number 8, education. When we talk of education in Meghalaya, we are at the bottom. And that allegations of being in the bottom is not my allegation. It is there in public domain. I happen to read the manual for the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. I would like to read it here. Convergence of different ministries and schemes. Convergence of programs and interventions of other ministries and departments is a core principle in implementing SSA for achieving its objective. The schemes and programs of other ministries, departments, which are identified to converge with SSA are presented here in the figure. There is a beautiful figure from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare that SSA teacher has to provide IFA tablets. He has to do deworming of the students and many other activities. He has to check anemia in the students. Then from the Ministry of Health and Rural Development, MHRD, is it the Human Resource Development? He has to extend the service of midday meal scheme to all eligible school children. Then we have the MWCD, Ministry of Women and Child Development, to facilitate preschool learning. And so many other departments are included. When I talked to the teachers, I realized they are made so busy with so many other activities that they don't have time to teach. When election comes, the first person that will be enrolled for election duties will be the teachers. So this we have to rethink. And when it comes to their salary, I'm very happy to hear the Chief Minister that they have set aside a corpus fund. I hope that corpus fund will stand by every month to pay the salaries of the SSA teachers, ad hoc teachers, and others who always face difficulty in receiving monthly salaries. I would like to place for the benefit of this house, if MLAs were denied salaries for 3 months, 4 months, the way the teachers face, I don't know whether we will be on the road or sitting here for the assembly session. We should try to put ourselves in the teacher's shoes sometimes. So I hope with this new government that we have now, the issue of teacher salary being delayed for months together will be addressed. At page number 13, public health engineering. There's a big talk about Jal Jeevan Mission. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I can tell you the list of so many villages in my constituency where the Jal Jeevan Mission is completed but there's no water. I can tell you the list of many villages who had water before the mission, but after providing taps to every household, there's no water in the taps. Why this mission failed is because they provide only the taps and the pipes, and they depend on the same source which is existing. So I request the government, instead of having the Jal Jeevan Mission, we should follow the old golden rule, where the people actively participate to find the source of water, put an application to the government, they plan the estimate, and the same is forwarded to the central government for help or sanction. The JJM mission is an exact, beautiful example where the top to bottom approach totally fails. A beautiful example, I must say. And I believe in every constituencies, the same will be found if we go and check. There will be taps and many taps, but no water. Then in Public Works Department.
Honorable members, as I have requested you to cut
Another 2 minutes, sir.
speech, please, because there are many other members who would like to participate.
Sir, unless we talk, we cannot
It is 21. there
place
are
before the
21
House the points that we want to raise. Under the Public Works Department, we always talk of equitable opportunity to get work. In the recent years, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, we have seen the trend. In the 10 to 15 years ago, we have a long list of contractors, be it PWD or PHE or any other departments. But that list of contractors is slowly reducing in number. The reason is, when there is a work allotted, earlier they used to divide in groups. But now, even work orders that are in 2 different locations are clubbed together, denying the rights to many of our contractors to get work. I feel this has to be corrected. And when we talk about the quality of work under the Public Works Department, I remember when I was in medical college, sir, after exams we used to discuss, how did you write your exams? My friend used to say, if I get the chance to correct the paper by myself, I'll get 100 marks.
That is what I am thinking.
But it is somebody else who will correct the paper. In PWD also, that is exactly what we see these days, sir. An engineer who is supposed to check the quality of work is under so much pressure because the contractor who does the work has the power to transfer the engineer through their connection. So it becomes imperative that we should free our officers. Where they have to check the quality, they should stand firm. Otherwise, the quality of work, the nature of longevity of our roads will not last. We go on repairing roads. We deny the opportunities for other villages to also enjoy new good roads because sometimes even when the quality is very poor, the engineer is under pressure to pass the work. So let not the student who faced the exam correct his own paper, let the teacher do the correction. Let not the contractor pass the work, let the engineer pass the quality of the work. That is my submission before you, sir. And in the last page, election. We know one constituency is still pending. So I request the Honorable Chief Minister, the government, to expedite the process so that we can have the election as early as possible in Sohtun constituency. These are my submissions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.